All right.
All right, this is John.
This is Danny.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Do you know?
Do you know? This is episode 2. So what's going on?
Well, I am 4 days sober of tobacco.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been using this text to quit. So I recommend anyone out there who's interested in quitting tobacco products, I dip. I use the oral, like the smokeless tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
But I basically called a number trying to get something else, and I accidentally stumbled on this program.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, it worked out pretty good.
So what are some of the steps, or what do they have you doing?
So they said to substitute something in place of what it is you normally do. So for smokers, that would be like putting a chopstick in your mouth, or chewing on carrot sticks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, what I do is I chew gum, and I put chopped up pieces of peanuts and pecans in the gum because it hurts my gums like tobacco chew does. And then I put that in my mouth, and it presses up against my gums, and it has sort of a gooey texture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 4 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's like, I think they say every day you use a tobacco product, you lose like a couple hours of your life.
Right.
So you must have gained at least another day or two.
Right.
So that's pretty, it's pretty cool, man. Well,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's going on. What's going on with you?
Basically, I've been in getting ready for midterm mode at school. I attend CSUN, and I'm studying speech language pathology, but my undergrad is in communicative disorders. So a lot of what I'm doing right now has to do with science and biology, and just kind of how the cells work together. They're doing a lot of focus on viruses and even on vaccines. That's a big focus this year.
I have a question then. If you are studying communicative disorders, a baby goes ba 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 ba, right? Are they trying to communicate something and simply are unable to because of their lack of skills, or are they completely just babbling?
Okay, so it depends what age you're talking, but
I'm talking about an infant.
okay, so what happens is an infant is born, and they're born with a few just natural reflexes. So crying is one of them.
Right.
And they have a certain amount of emotion, of temper and happiness that they're just born with, that you can't teach. It's just what they have inside of them. So what happens is a baby will basically use those instincts for any situation. So if it's trying to tell you it's hungry, or trying to tell you it's happy, or whatever it is, it'll go to one of its natural reflexes and shoot that out at you.
So it knows it's hungry, and it knows
Yes.
that it's angry. It just can't communicate. So would you call that like a dysfunction of I mean,
well,
in the sense that it's too young, is what I'm saying.
I would say that it's a normal development phase. I actually was watching a video the other day, and it was a young infant who probably had just started walking, and his sister and brother had left for school. And as they left for school, you could see that he was upset, but he didn't have the tools yet to verbalize what he was going through.
Yeah.
So he started to hit himself. So he would physically hit himself in the head, slap himself, because he was so upset that his brother and sister were leaving for school. And it was like frightening for the parents, because they're wondering, why is my kid hitting himself? And it was just the way that he was expressing his disapproval for them leaving. It was like he put it on himself in essence. But it's a normal thing in development for kids to do things like that, to hit themselves or laugh or to act out with a toy or something else. And that's not a disorder at all. It's not a disorder. It's just, that's a development. What they're doing is they're connecting receptors in their brain to try to figure out what's happening, because they don't see things how like we see it as we get older. They're seeing it in that fundamental like development stage.
Right.
So that's a good question.
Cool. All right.
So in the news, I don't know if have you heard of the girl? I think it's Paterno. That's what I make sure I'm saying her name right. Gabby Petito. And
I've heard about it, but I don't know what it's about. Like, what? Break it down for me.
Okay.
What's the deal?
so what happened is she has a boyfriend, and they went on one of these cross country trips. They wanted to live the van life. So she had bought like a really nice, camper van thing. It kind of looks like the Amazon delivery trucks, but they made it into like a bed and a room, And they went to these, wilderness parks. So I'm not sure exactly which one they went to. I think it was in Florida. It may have been Arizona, whatever. They went to these different places. While they're on their trip, there was a couple times that they got into some kind of domestic issues. Like at a restaurant, they were arguing. Someone called the cops because it looked like that either she hit him or he hit her, and the cops came and they made a report, but they didn't arrest anybody. They let them go on their way. And then what happened was her boyfriend showed up with her van at his parents' house without her. And, it's kind of like, well, where is she? And he acted like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. And then his parents went on some kind of trip and didn't cooperate with the authorities who wanted to ask questions. They basically said that they don't know, and then they reported their son missing. And then there's evidence that they may have helped him go somewhere to a park, like a wilderness park kind of place that they think maybe in Florida. So then what has happened is they've gotten a lawyer, and the lawyer has basically said that there may be fraud because her credit card was used with, and it wasn't her, it was him using her credit card allegedly. But they don't know like what happened to her. They did a hunt of the last place that they were known to be together. They found her body. They did an autopsy on the body. They found the cause of death was strangulation. He's been missing now. You got everyone looking for him. The dog, the bounty hunter. The guy who used to do, remember America's Most Wanted?
Yeah.
He's looking for him.
Okay.
You have the FBI. You have all the resources of the state troopers, police in Florida. And, they can't locate him. They're searching, miles of everything, of, the wetlands.
Yeah.
And no one knows where he is or if they're on a wild goose chase because parents aren't helping. Lawyers saying, we'll answer to the fraud charges when we find him. He's missing. And here it is, his girlfriend, or I think it was his fiance.
Yeah.
At one point, they thought that maybe she was pregnant, but the coroner had ruled that she was not pregnant. So it's a case of domestic violence, and it seems like everyone's saying that he did it because the evidence is lining up like he did it.
Wow.
So if they do catch him, and they can prove that he did do it, because of evading the police and doing all this, shouldn't that be automatic death penalty?
I don't know how the death penalty works, man. I really don't. But it's Florida, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna throw him into the chair or whatever they do over there. I think they do the injections.
Or the crocodiles.
Yeah.
They throw him into the lake.
But yeah, it seems like a pretty because of the evasion. I don't think the police like to have it thrown in their face like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say that if he is found and he is guilty, the parent should be also charged for what's it called?
Harboring.
Harboring, yeah, harboring, not cooperating, helping him escape.
It's his parents, though. Like who wouldn't
Right.
go on a limb for their kid?
I saw on TikTok that that people have been taking drone pictures of the family's residence,
Yeah.
and they're saying that he's hiding in the flower bed, and that they see these photographs of a hand coming out or something coming out of the flower bed, and like the mother or father, bringing food out or something,
Wow.
and they think the FBI should search the flower beds. How would if he was hiding in there? They had like a bunker.
Wow. I mean, that would be a first. If I'm surprised Dog the Bounty Hunter is in on this.
He jumped on
He's
it.
still doing it.
Yeah,
I can't believe he's been rocking this for like 30 years, man.
Well, he has that new wife.
Oh, does he?
He has a new wife.
Okay.
Well, his wife had passed away.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she finally died she had cancer,
Oh.
and so she passed away, and then he married her best friend.
Oh.
So he married, and she's always been like a friend of the family.
Yeah.
I think it's a best friend. I'm not sure what she is, but she has something to do. But I know she's a lot younger.
What is it that you think bounty hunters know that the FBI doesn't know? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what could Dog possibly bring to this case?
Well, he's caught a lot of fugitives.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, doesn't the police know more than Dog the bounty hunter? Like,
Yeah, they trained him. The only thing is, Dog was at one point a criminal.
was he? So he knows the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, so at one point, Dog had, right, like he was either like a drug user or something, and he did some jail time or prison time.
Okay.
And then he found God, and he changed his life around, and
I see.
wanted to catch people to kind of give them some a way to fix their life. Like a part of his thing is to try to help them, not just like I caught you, throwing you in jail. It's like, hey, I'm here to support you, in with some other way.
Right.
So I don't know all the details, but I think he's religious.
I see.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild. I mean, I know that's taking up most of the country's time is this case, because domestic violence is like a big problem. I mean, there's so many women who don't report it, and it's like they deal with this like kind of, and maybe men who don't report it. I don't know anymore because the definition has changed. So maybe I'm talking about the wrong sex. I don't know if you're allowed to even. Are men doing it or women now? I don't even know. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So we have some questions.
Oh, yeah.
This comes from Reddit. This is the Ask Men Reddit subreddit. So, Danny,
Yes.
what is your experience with quiet girls?
Oh. My experience with quiet girls is that if they are around something that they enjoy, they come out of their shell. So they'll be quiet in social scenes where there's a lot of people or groups, but if you get them like alone, having dinner, going to a bar, having a few drinks, and it's not a lot of people around, they come out of like their shell and they're actually not quiet anymore.
Right.
So I think it's just a coping mechanism for not being social.
Right.
How would you answer that?
Well, I always heard that quiet people are like freaks in the bed. But that's not my experience. Like, I don't have much experience with quiet girls and being in bed. So, but that's like that's the impression. I think my impression with quiet girls is that I'm gonna stick with that though. I mean, I do tend to think that they tend to be a little sexualized. Though.
I would say, in my experience, quiet girls are quiet in bed.
Really?
That's what I would say.
Okay.
I would say they're not loud.
Not loud. I'm not talking about like volume to
Yo!
10. No, not volume to 10, but I'm saying that they tend to be more sexualized than a louder person who probably is already expressing themselves naturally. That's just, like I said, my experience.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is, again, comfort level. So, for example, people are going to be quieter, one or the other. When you first meet them, they're going to be like super quiet because you're breaking the ice and they're nervous, or they're going to put that extra, hey, what's up? I'm ready to talk because I'm a social person.
Right.
So they're either going to put one or the other. But as that fades away, and you say you build more of a relationship that has intimacy and all that, then it's kind of like someone's going to be able to verbalize what they enjoy, right, physically, or they're not going to know how to verbalize it, and then again it'll be more of a noise thing, right? So it just depends on how they communicate, because there's a lot of ways to communicate. Beep beep.
Right.
Doot 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 doot. So, hey, I have a question. Did you see what DC's doing to Superman?
No.
I am so pissed right now.
Oh.
You want to know Superman?
Yeah, what's up?
He's bisexual.
No.
Yep. So DC's new Superman is bisexual, dude.
Wow. Interesting.
And I'm not mad because he's bisexual. I'm mad that Superman is bisexual. There's a difference. So, like, if you're gonna make Superman bisexual, you better call him Super Person.
I see.
Because it shouldn't be Superman.
It
should be Super Person is bisexual. Okay?
No, because the idea is that a man can be with another man or another woman. But explain more about this to me. So, in other words, there's a Lois Lane, and he's also into Jimmy.
I haven't read it, but
Newsboy.
I just saw that DC. The new Superman for DC is bisexual, and the cover shows basically him
kissing a
right,
man,
like hanging out with like close to a dude. And I'm wondering, is his kryptonite hot chicks now? Like, I'm just saying, like, does it change? Like, is it still kryptonite, or now it's like, oh,
wow,
you brought a 10? That hurts. Oh Lord. Oh man, DC, man, I'm mad, dude. Because, listen, I know you're gonna get a little bit of hate on this, and that's fine. You can be whoever you want. I think I've said this on every podcast and every episode I've ever been on. But why are we going after the superheroes now? Like, first of all, we know Superman's backstory.
Right.
We know the backstory. We know everything about Superman, and we know that being bisexual is not a choice. You're either born that way or you're not. I mean, that's the big push from that community, is that we're born a certain way. So wouldn't we have known if Superman was born homosexual?
Well, I don't know that it's not a choice, actually. I think if you're gay, that's not a choice. But if you're bisexual, I think the idea is that you're willing to take a chance and experiment a little. I think that's the whole idea behind bisexuality. I think bisexuality is a little bit different because you're with your native gender, meaning I'm a guy, I like girls, but you're also willing to try being with men. Or if you're a girl, you like guys, but you're willing to try girls.
Yeah, but at what point does it turn to you're gay? Like, what I'm saying is,
it never. I think it's possible to just be bisexual. I think that's why it's on the LGBTQ list. There's L for lesbian, there's G for gay. Those are the gay, but there's also B for bisexual, which is a completely different one. And that one means you don't identify as an L or a G. You don't identify with the gay nomenclature.
Yeah, but
it's
it
like
doesn't.
You're choosing.
What I'm saying is, once you.
I know it's a lot to wrap our head around.
But what I'm saying, once you are having sex with the same sex.
Think of it as like prison sex. Like, people who go into prison don't consider themselves gay. Men and women, by the way. I'm not just talking about men having butt sex. I'm saying men and women who go into jail and either do a rape or have sex with their cellie, like, they come out of prison and they go right back to their husbands and their wives, no problem, as if it never happened. They don't even consider themselves gay. That's not a thing. So they're bisexual.
I would consider them gay.
I know you would,
okay.
But they don't consider themselves gay. That's what I'm saying. They don't identify with that lifestyle. They're not all about the, I'm going to wear short shorts and, oh my God, girlfriend, and, you know, butching it up their haircut and
right, they're not going to be
Birkenstocks and, you know.
I got you, like being...
They don't live the gay lifestyle. That's not for them. It was one time in a place, and now that it's over, they're going back to the lifestyle it was. If it was a super butch woman who had like a short haircut and tattoos and all this stuff, she covers them up, wears dresses now, and she's good to go. A guy who was giving it to another guy in prison, he comes out and he's now with like a 10 woman. So it's strange, but that's how they see it. They it's like it doesn't count for them.
Well, you know, everyone's allowed to do what they want to do. Like, again, in our first episode, we touched base on now how men are having babies. So this kind of fits with that, in my opinion, where it's just like kind of a play on words. They don't identify, okay. But now we're going to take Superman, which happens to be an icon, and we're going to now say, by the way, Superman in year 2021 is bi. But in the 90s, he wasn't. And in 2000, he wasn't.
Right, because the time didn't call for that.
So I'm saying, but what does that do for the kids?
It makes him a hero to the underdog. Like, the people watching comics are nerds and people who are being beaten up. Like, people who are getting tail don't need to read comic books. Can we at least agree on that?
Okay.
I mean, it's really for the downtrodden that the comic books are written.
I mean, but they're cool. The stories are cool.
Right, so by making him bisexual and not gay, you're not alienating him, no pun intended, from the masses. You're making him approachable because he still dates women. He still is with Lois Lane. You're not breaking him off.
Is Wonder Woman bi?
She comes from an island of Lesbos. She is an Amazonian woman with an all-woman island. I mean,
but in the movie, she never was portrayed that way.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's kind of obvious that she's a lesbian. I'm just saying.
Man, the super world. That's
why I'm into Marvel. I don't really like DC anyways.
I hate DC. DC's whack, dude.
DC is not really my jam.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, dude, but I don't know. I mean, which one does Disney own?
Marvel.
Okay. Yeah. Because Disney would never put up with that.
No.
They wouldn't go for that. Even though their new movie, don't they have a bisexual now princess or something?
Really?
There's some new movie with Disney, and they did touch base on that now. I know Elsa or something before. She was lesbian.
No.
I'm pretty sure that Elsa's a lesbian.
No.
Not at all?
You're talking about the one who froze things with her hand? From Frozen?
Yeah.
Elsa? No.
One of them.
No. Wouldn't Disney kind of embrace that idea? That seems a little strange. She's the first openly gay character in the Marvel Universe. What? Captain America turned his chair around to remind kids that gender isn't binary? What? Groot declared that he only liked boy trees? Captain Marvel kissed a girl? Didn't like it? What? I don't know. You know, look, it's for the youth of today. These comic books are being written, and they're being written for people who are having difficulty understanding what's going on in their life. And originally, Spider-Man was written because Stan Lee wanted a nerd. You know, he wanted Dr. Banner to be someone who had an anger management problem. So he wrote all these broken characters. DC was different though. DC was like godlike beings, detectives like Batman, and you had gods like Superman, and you had like Shazam and all these things. So I think they're kind of maybe coming towards Marvel's understanding of a broken character, someone who's bisexual or wrestling with their sexual identity a little bit.
It's wild. Yeah, let me just show you it really quick just so you see. So it's clear.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep.
We'll get a maybe picture of that on the.
There you go. Superman, doing his thing.
Yeah.
Not the Superman I grew up with. More like super kid.
Right.
Super figuring it out. Super awkward. Oh well. Hey, listen. I'm 41. It's hard for me to go back in time.
Yeah.
I can't reimagine.
What are you gonna be like at 80?
I just can't reimagine everything. I gotta know just what it is, like what I grew up with. Like,
right.
It's so weird to just come to a place in society where you could go, that's not outside, that's inside. You're like, no, that's outside. They're like, no. I identify with that being inside. This is outside. So
right.
what? I mean, what's gonna happen when we start doing that? We're in the car, and I go, hey, make a left. But you go, I don't identify with that being left. I identify with that being left.
Right.
Now we're making lefts into rights and rights into lefts. Before you know it, everyone's going to get messed up.
Well, let's go there then. I mean, is it the same, a right and a left, and men and women being meant to be with each other? Because if we look at nature, we do see homosexual behavior exhibited with primates, with butterflies, with dolphins, with whatever animal. It spans like across all types of animals. Mm-hmm. So it's not unique to the human that homosexual behavior exists. It does seem to exist in nature, and if God made nature, then God made homosexuality. It does tend to reason. And my wife is a teacher, or she was a teacher, she's not anymore, mm-hmm. But when she was a teacher, she could identify a child as young as 8 as being homosexual. It was very obvious. They had the mannerisms, they had an attraction to the same sex. Mm-hmm. So, it's not something that develops later on in life or whatever. I mean, it is something that does seem to exist at a very young age.
You're born with it.
You're born with it.
Like, I had a friend when I was a bartender and a waiter, and I had a friend, and she was a waitress, very funny, very cool, and we became pretty close, and we would hang out like after work, and even she asked me like to watch her animals, house sit her house, blah blah blah. One night we're hanging out, and she says, "Hey, I'm gay, right?" And I said, "I didn't know. I could never tell." Like I'm saying, she didn't have any mannerisms. Very pretty girl, very nice, super funny. I was like, "Whoa, I didn't even know that." And she said, "Yeah, I wish I wasn't." She's like, "Man, I'm born like this." So she's like kind of crying to me about all the stories of like, basically having rejection because she liked different women, and it was like she was made out to be this like weirdo or sick or something.
Right.
And she was like, "I'm not that way. I wish I wasn't. I wish I could just be normal, as everyone calls it, normal." So I understand that you're born that way, and being born that way isn't anything bad. I mean, that whole world is fine. I don't have a problem with that world. I just didn't like when that Superman is changing from who he was, and I don't, like we're saying, if you're born that way, we know where Superman was born. We know where he grew up. We know everything about Superman. We know Superman 1.
Right.
Literally Superman 1. So to now have a new Superman story, don't call it Superman. Call it Superman 2. Superman had a son. Superman had a twin. There has to be more to this story. It can't be the Superman. It can't be Clark Kent.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying you don't like the revisionist. You don't like them changing.
Yes.
Like like Wolverine with no claws.
Yes.
Spider-Man has no webs.
Exactly. Don't change what we already know. We have the whole story for...
You're a traditionalist.
Yes. I'm just saying, I don't want to go back. I mean, I remember reading Superman 1. I remember going to the comic book shop and getting it in... They made a remake of Superman 1 because the first one came out before I was even born.
Right.
And it was in different sleeves. One was like red, one was white, one was black.
Right.
And it was like the remake of Superman. I remember going to the store, buying them, and then selling them in junior high school. And it was just like amazing to read these stories because they redid the original stories, but they didn't change the stories. So
Right.
that's what I mean. It's just now you're going to bring him back. And again, I don't know how it reads. I haven't been able to see it. They're just saying this is going to happen. But I want to know what happened. I want to understand the story. And if there's some backstory or something, I want to see how they spin it. Because you know what? Maybe DC spins it in a way it makes sense. Maybe they go, look, somehow he's in another dimension. Maybe Superman left his planet, came here, then somehow he got into another dimension. In that dimension, it's like he's now bisexual or whatever. Maybe it'll make sense to me then. Or maybe he went to another planet. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see what it says. If anyone knows what happened inside of the new DC Superman, why don't you just let us know? I don't mind for a spoiler. I just want to know, like, does he still hang out with Lois Lane? I mean, like, is
How does
Kryptonite...
she feel about it?
Yeah, it's like, does he still scared of Kryptonite? Like, does that still get him? Have we still figured out how we can't stop Kryptonite? That part I still don't understand. Like, the one thing he can fly, freeze things, heat things, super strength. Just Kryptonite gets him.
The ants
From Krypton.
probably feel the same way about us, though. They're probably like, these guys can stomp on us, they pour water on us, but they still are afraid of our tiny little bites. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's always something with somebody.
Right.
Like, like he has to have some weakness.
Right. No, I mean, it's just hard to find Kryptonite, right? It only comes from Krypton.
Right.
So it's a hard element.
Although we seem to get a lot of it, though, in the comics. Like, they always seem to be able to get their hands on it.
Well, all the bad guys know that's his weakness, right?
So they seem to be able to get their hands on it pretty easy.
Exactly.
It's like, it just seems to be, it's just a stockpile somewhere.
Maybe that's why he's bisexual now. So now maybe that's his, like, somehow that's gonna alleviate the bad guys trying to get him with kryptonite because he has now his backup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Lois Lane, I guess, wasn't helping out.
Right.
He's too busy making the stories.
Right.
So anyway, Superman. Let's call it Super Person.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's make it all correct. So, bombshell. John Gruden is out.
Yeah.
He's not the coach anymore of the Raiders. He sent an email 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Not from last year, 5 years. It's from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a coach. And he's out because of that email. What is the statute of limitations on emails?
I told my kids when they got their first iPhones, I said, guys, when you use these, it will be forever on the internet. There's no going back. So be careful what you take a picture of, what you take a video of, what you send an email of. You might want to run for president one day. And it's forever. You can't go back. There's no erasing it. You might push delete, but it exists in the cloud somewhere. So the answer to your question is, there is no statute. It's forever. The internet is forever.
Listen, you know what he said? You know the kind of stuff he said?
No.
So he called the commissioner of he said he's so mad at Goodell for pushing Fisher to draft paraphrasing, but pretty much what he said, because that was the first openly gay player in the NFL was drafted by the Rams when Fisher was coach.
Yeah.
And because he was saying that the league is turning into basically email to the owner of the Washington Redskins at the time. So now it's not Redskins anymore. Now it's just the Washington team. Because Redskin is not allowed.
Right.
So it's just kind of ironic that the email he sent it to was for a team whose name wasn't even going to be allowed in the big NFL change. And I don't understand the NFL. Because, okay, they're saying it's misogynist, it's sexist, it's racist, it's homophobic, it's all these different things, right?
Right.
But do you know who's playing the halftime show for the Super Bowl?
Yes. I can't wait.
I can't wait, but the thing is this. NFL. That whole group of people who are playing that show, misogynist, sexist, racist.
But the difference is they don't work for the NFL.
NFL's writing them a check.
That
the NFL either.
It speaks to his. Well, he did a couple of days ago.
What I'm saying is, 10 years ago, he was a color commentator. He didn't work for the NFL.
No, that's fine.
Or for
the problem is with these sorts of emails and phone calls and videotapes and recordings. You know, it speaks to the character of people. So if they're willing to say it once on tape, they're probably said it 10 times off tape. That's the theory. That's the playing theory.
I mean, I see what you're saying with that. I just think that if the NFL is going to say, look, you did something bad 10 years ago, and now you're going to lose your job, you have to resign,
yeah.
Then why can't we look at all the coaches' emails, exactly the same, all of their emails for the last 10 years, let's see what everyone's been saying, and let's hold everyone accountable for everything they've ever done, and if anyone has done anything similar out of line, out.
Because they weren't winning when they shouldn't have. He probably was winning too much. The line.
Winning what?
The Raiders were doing really well.
Just lost 2 games in a row.
They opened up pretty well.
They won 3 games and lost 2.
Right.
Yeah, but what I mean is that has nothing to do with it.
I bet you it had something to do with it. I bet you ultimately what happened was they looked at it and they were like, "Oh man."
No, it's something with Randy Moss and them. They're looking for a story to break, and then Randy Moss started crying on the air.
Right.
And they got a whole big story about, John Gruden bringing back memories of racism, and then talking about all the kids and all the things they have in the end zone and on the helmets and the jerseys about, not being racist and working together, and saying that, John Gruden's basically holding the league back with his, style of thinking and managing. And it's just, I just think if the NFL is going to take such a strong stance, then you shouldn't have anyone play any shows at the NFL or do anything that doesn't align with their beliefs. Because to me, that's a double standard.
Right.
You can't have a halftime show with a bunch of sexist misogynists. If he's being a sexist misogynist and is out, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. It is just a crazy, crazy situation. And you know what? I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. I'm a big Raider fan, so I'm disappointed. We're going to bring it up. Nah, man, you got to have a statute of limitations of what is said. Especially in an email that we're not even in context. Like, you have no idea. What I'm saying is, let's see all of the emails and all the context. They're just isolating an email and things that were said.
Right.
Where's the rest of it? Where's the lead up? What did Goodell do to him? Was it when he won the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay? I don't even think Goodell was the commissioner then.
Right.
I mean, he took over the league. I can't remember which year, but I mean, that's what we need to think about is what led up to all this name calling. And Gruden has a nasty way of talking. He just does. You heard him on Monday Night Football telling the refs to F off on the air. I mean, he has a nasty way of talking and screaming at people. He always has. It's just how he talks. It's not against the law. It's not against any rule in the NFL to use bad profanity. Right. You're allowed to use profanity all you want. Right. Even though it might be frowned upon, it is not illegal.
Right.
So it shouldn't have cost him 7 years of his 10-year contract and over $70 million he lost because of this.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's right for Gruden, who, if you ask any of his players, okay, and he's been a coach in the NFL for 3 years now, no one says he says anything racist, homophobic, misogynist, anything in that locker room or at all to the Raiders or Raiders staff. So you're completely taken out of context. In my opinion, he doesn't have an ounce of racist blood in him. And again, we're putting things together without knowing the context of it, because sometimes people say things figuratively. They say things with excitement. Maybe he was drinking that night. Maybe he wrote him an email. Both of them were talking, having wine, and he's going off. This guy's a this, and this guy's a mother effing that, and you're this, and that's trash. But it wasn't like he was saying, hey, this is my book, this is my autobiography, this is how I stand on things.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, is we're taking it out of context. Imagine I sent a text message, and I just said, F your mom or something, right? What, 10 years later, it's like, if that's illegal, to be like, I can't believe you once said that. It's like, hey, I know it's not polite. I'm not going to go around saying that. That's not how I talk. That's not how I think of people's mothers.
Right.
But once in a while, you may say that. You may be a troll. For that day, that moment, you're trolling.
Right.
And there's a lot of trolls. Most of the people watching this are trolls.
Right.
Except the fans. You guys can troll us too.
Right.
It's okay.
So how do they troll us? Like, where can they reach us? What are we going to work out for
I
that?
don't even know where we are right now.
Well, I think we're going to be on YouTube. I think so. In the comments down below,
Okay.
they can definitely leave us a
They
comment.
can subscribe.
So they can hit like and subscribe.
Start there.
We're not going to tell you that every single time. I personally think that's annoying, but we're definitely going to encourage you to like and subscribe. But you can definitely leave us a comment down below. We're also, I think, going to have a webpage.
It's in the making.
It's in the making.
I think, do you know johnanddan.com?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be there.
Okay.
And
then Twitter.
Twitter's coming.
Okay.
I don't know what the handle's going to be. It'll be maybe at do you know?
Right.
I'm not sure. Again, we're going to tell you in episode 3.
Okay. All right. Need some stuff to, to encourage the trolls out there, because they,
We should.
they're the reason why we get up in the morning.
Yeah, and go to sleep late.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is Danny.
This is John.
It's been fun. We'll see you
All right.
next time.
Peace.